They said it was just a toy, a bunny-eared creature from the imagination of a Chinese illustrator. Cute, collectible, harmless, until the screaming started, until the dreams began, until people began seeing something behind its grin. It began quietly, a dog barking at an empty shelf, a child refusing to sleep unless the door was locked outside the room, shadows that looked wrong. Parents blamed nightmares, overstimulated imaginations, but it didn't stop. One girl whispered to her mother that the doll had asked her to play again, one she couldn't stop playing, one she couldn't win. A name began to surface in cursed forms, digital grimoire archives, and fringe occult servers. A name not heard in centuries. Pazuzu. Not a nickname, not a joke. This was something far older, something far darker. An ancient demon, born in the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, feared not just for his name, but for the plague and madness that followed in his wake. Malevolent beyond human comprehension, he wasn't a myth, he was a warning. Some said he brings plague, riding on desert wind, affecting breath and bone alike. Whole villages would fall sick overnight, their prayers unheard. Others claim he protects you, but only just enough to keep others away, so he can be the only one allowed to hurt you. Like a jealous god or a possessive curse, he guards you not out of mercy, but out of ownership. And now, they say he's back, smiling through plastic, sold in blind boxes, sitting on your shelf. Labubu was born in 2015, the airy creation of Hong Kong-based artist Kai Sun Lung, a man celebrated for blending whimsy with the grotesque. His art walked a fine line between fairy tale and a fever dream. In Labubu, it was no exception. Marketed under the Monsters collection by Pop Mart, the characters were introduced through blind boxes, those tiny cardboard coffins of commercial mystery. With every purchase, buyers were gambling for the rarest figure, a chase wrapped in foil and secrecy. And among them all, Labubu quietly became the franchise crown jewel. Wide-eyed, grinning, mischievous, sometimes dressed as an angel in white feathers, sometimes as a devil with thorns and a pitchfork, always watching. Pop Mart exploded across Asia, queues snaked around stores at dawn, limited editions vanished within minutes, online forums lit up with unboxing and scapelet prices. Thousands were spent chasing a 3-inch figure, all for Labubu. It wasn't just a toy anymore, it was cultural obsession, a modern day idol, a status symbol. But while many saw charm in that toothy smile and vacant stare, others didn't. Some found something off about it, something wrong, something like it wasn't smiling at you. It was smiling because of you. Lifeless eyes that seemed to follow, joints that never moved. It never stayed quite the same. The internet did what it always does best. It took a spark of curiosity and fanned it into full blown paranoia. It started innocently enough, a few TikToks, a dog barking uncontrollably at a shelf where a labubu sat motionless. Baby stared, eyes wide, then babbling in tongues no parent could identify. Strange coincidences, easily dismissed until they weren't. A woman claimed Labubu figure moved positions during the night, not just tipped over, but turned faced her bed. Another swore, her whispers, faint and raspy, coming through her apartment walls, always around midnight. Always just she walked past the figure, It knows, she wrote in the caption. It waits. The videos multiplied, hashtags trended, and soon corners of the internet, far darker than TikTok, began to take notice. Forums dedicated to the occult, demonology, and forbidden relics began dissecting Labubu's face. The crooked smile, the bulging eyes, the elongated features. One theory began to emerge again and again. They said Labubu bore a resemblance to Pazuzu, the ancient Mesopotamian demon of wind, plague, and possession, a figure feared even among demons, protector of some, destroyer to most. At first, people laughed, called it viral hysteria, just another creepypasta for the digital age. But others started digging, and what they found wasn't just disturbing, it was historically symbolic, it was patterned. Pazuzu, the demon of southwest wind, a name whispered across century, first inscribed in clay tablets of Assyrian and Babylonic myth, a creature forged in contradiction. He brought famine in the fields, diseases to the lungs, carried pestilence of desert winds, blackening skies, and death. And yet, he was also a protector, especially of women during childbirth, not out of mercy, but a ward of something worse, the demoness, the master, his rival, his prey, the fight evil with evil. His appearance was an unsettling as his nature, the body of a beast, covered in scales, talons like a raptor, a gaunt canine face with twisted horns, bulging eyes, a gaping mouth frozen in a scream or a grin, a serpent for genitals. He was not loved, he was feared, yet people wore amulets bearing his face. They prayed to him not to come, or if he did, to fight something worse in the shadows. Pazuzu was a weapon of desperation, a deal with darkness when no light remained. In 1973, he was reborn for a new generation, immortalized in The Exorcist as the ancient force that possessed young Reagan, a force so powerful that even priests trembled. Pazuzu, though unnamed in the film, became synonymous with possession, corruption, and that twists innocence into monstrosity. And then he vanished, forgotten by pop culture, replaced by newer demons, digital devils, trending fears. Until now. Now he's back, not in tombs or churches, but in memes, on t shirts, and hashtags, whispered again in corners of the internet. His face, once carved in stones, now screen printed on hoodies, trivialized, commercialized, hidden in plain sight. And maybe, just maybe, hidden in toys. Toys like Labubu. They said it was just a coincidence, but the internet didn't buy it. Side by side comparisons showed the resemblance. Not just the face, but the ears, the posture, the arms bent like claws. Some tourists claimed Kaizen Lung channeled Pazuzu subconsciously, that his whimsical creatures were masks for darker energies. Others claimed it was no accident, that Labubu was designed intentionally to be a modern idol, that each blind box was not a toy but a vessel. Psychologists have named it pareidolia, the mind's trick of seeing faces in shadows, patterns in chaos. A survival instinct, they say, nothing more than the brain reaching for meaning when none exists. Religious leaders dismiss it as misplaced superstition, a symptom of a world increasingly detached from faith. To them, it's just another manufactured fear, another distraction, another demon made by man, not by God. But not everyone agrees. Demonologists, folklorists, occult historians, these are the ones who have been watching quietly, and they see something different. A pattern, a cycle. Every few decades, they say, a vessel emerges. Not just an object, but a conduit. A thing that shouldn't have significance, but somehow gathers it. Grows heavier with belief, with fear, with attention. The big box, once a wine cabinet, now a legend of Jewish mysticism, said to house a malicious spirit. Annabelle, a Raggedy Ann doll, so ordinary. It became infamous for torment, for manipulation, for evil cloaked in cotton and yarn. Even Furbies, those robotic toys of the late 90s, surrounded by bizarre rumors, speaking without batteries, moving on their own, repeating things never taught to them. And now, Labubu, one Catholic priest who was called in to bless a collector's room, shelves lined with dozens of Labubu figures grinning in every corner. He took one step inside and refused. I won't stay here, he reportedly said. It's not the doll, it's something behind the doll. I feel watched. A rabbi in New York offered a different take. It's not cursed, he said, not the doll, it's the people, the ones who are drawn to it. They are already marked. Marked by what, he didn't say, but the implications were clear. It isn't just a toy that finds you. Sometimes it's something using the toy to get close to you. On the surface, it's just a fandom. Toy collectors, obsessive, sure but harmless. Dig deeper, and you'll find closed telegram groups trading pound blood dolls, ritual instructions, users claiming enlightenment after unlocking Labubu's true form. Some say there's a code in the doll's clothing, that every variant represents a sealed spirit. One theory even claims the rarest dolls contain fragments of a forgotten god. Maybe it's all fantasy. Maybe Labubu is just vinyl and paint. But in a world saturated with content, myths need a new face. Demons don't hide in shadows anymore. They smile from store shelves. They come wrapped in glitter and they ask to be played. Come back again at this nocturnal hour to witness another horrifying tale.